So I recently reduced my weight training from 3 times per week down to 2 times per week because I needed to make more time to finish writing my books. Now, there's absolutely no doubt about it. I mean, this is more than enough in order to maintain what muscle mass I've built over the years. As research has shown, it really doesn't take much at all in order to maintain our muscle mass. But what would happen if I completely prioritized finish writing these books and I dedicated all my focus and attention on completing that project while putting my weight training on the back burner altogether? Like, how long before I stopped working out would I experience muscle loss? According to the research, I may experience it, start noticing some muscle loss between 1 and 2 weeks. Now, this isn't muscle tissue that you would start to experience a loss in, it's a loss in water weight and maybe some muscle glycogen. And if you start to notice any kind of visual change in your appearance, in your size, a part of it could even be inflammation because you're no longer breaking down your muscle, no longer creating damage in order to spark that inflammation response, which actually helps you muscles grow, all a part of the growth process there. So all of those factors are coming into play, but in the 1 to 2 weeks that you're taking off, you're likely not going to experience any loss in actual muscle tissue. Even over the next couple of weeks, any loss that you may experience is going to be very minimal, if at all. It's more likely that you'll experience muscle loss and even some tissue loss if it's newer muscle gains. So if you're pretty new in your first few years of lifting experience, you just went through a growth period, dedicated building phase, and then all of a sudden you're like, you need to take a few weeks off, you may have an increased chance of losing some muscle tissue during that time. But again, we don't have enough information on this. And again, it's not anything that I would stress over in particular. Now, if you're someone like myself, 37 years of lifting experience under your belt, pretty much at or near your genetic muscular potential, and you're not experiencing a lot of gains at this stage of the game, I think what any noticeable loss in muscle for an extended period of time is going to be very minimal, if at all. I think it's less likely that we're going to experience muscle loss the longer that you've been training when you decide to take some time off. I mean, last year I went away for a month and didn't work out during that time. I took this photo at the end of my trip. I'm looking and I'm like, I really don't see much of a difference in how I looked at the beginning of the trip compared to how I looked at the end of the trip. I may have gained like 2 pounds in fat from eating and enjoying myself. Did I lose a little bit of muscle mass? I don't know, maybe a tiny bit. It's so hard to tell that it wouldn't be anything for me to stress over. And certainly upon returning to the gym afterwards, everything came back. You get that increase in the water retention in your muscles, the muscle glycogen, and the inflammation there, that pump afterwards that kind of makes you maybe look a little bit more fuller, maybe look a little bit more muscular, but it's not like I lost muscle tissue and then all of a sudden regained it. And if I did lose muscle tissue, it's going to come back pretty damn quick once you start that training response again. So I am certainly like reducing my weight training. I'm not concerned about it. Even if I was to stop for a month right now, I wouldn't be concerned about it. It's not going to be something that's going to have a dramatic impact on my appearance overall, my aesthetics. So these are things that I personally don't concern myself with. Now, I know like right now at this point, I'm still weight training 2 times per week, mainly for my mental health, my mental well-being. Like it's a form of self-care. And because like most of my time now is dedicated towards my writing, my clients, my work, I can't just dedicate, it's so important for me to at least get these 2 weight training sessions in. Whereas when I went away on vacation for a month, I was hiking, I was swimming, I lived a very active lifestyle. I still got in some jogging there. So I was hanging out with my parents. Like saw volcanoes erupting twice. I was swimming with manta rays. Like I was living life to the fullest at that time. So my mental health was in check. Like I was thriving from my experiences there. So being away from the gym had a minimal impact on me. Whereas like right now, being at home, focused on these projects, I know that getting in that gym at least twice a week is incredibly important for my mental health and my self-care. I need that break. I need that time to focus on myself, to get away from the work and to do something else like positive for my mind and my body. So, but I also know like I'm not doing it because it's a part of my identity. This is the thing I find for those who view their weight training as a form of like taking care of their mental health and self-care. Is like it is. I think it can very much well be a big part of our mental health. But if it is a part of your identity, and when you're not in the gym, you struggle mentally away from it. I think those are things that we need to work on as well. Like, what if the gym does get taken away from you? For what else can you do in order to practice self-care, to take care of your mental health there? I think this is something I have a great discussion about right now. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this down in the comment section below. Or if you are attaching your mental health to your gains, if you're like stressing over like, oh man, I can't work out for a week right now, what's going to happen to my gains? I just can't, I'm all out of sorts and everything. I mean, that stress is probably doing worse for you than the actual not training at all there. So you got to ask yourself like how you're viewing your training and this life and your muscle gains. Like, make sure you're approaching it in a healthy way, where if it does get taken away from you a little bit, like is that part of your identity? Where it gets taken away, your mental health is going to really suffer from that. So how you're viewing your training, how you're viewing the gains, what additional stresses are you causing on yourself unnecessarily? Like, man, if I lose a pound of muscle right now because I'm gone away for a month, I'm going to be devastated from it. Well, why are you going to be devastated? Like, why is that 1 pound of muscle so important to your overall well-being, your overall mental health there? Like, there's more to life than having that 1 pound of muscle there. Like, your happiness and your overall well-being shouldn't be attached to that 1 pound of muscle. So things to consider. Again, I understand it because it is such a great form of self-care, and it does play a role in our overall mental health. But you also got to recognize like those who have an unhealthy maybe obsession with it all, like that's not good for our mental health as well. So making sure that we fully are appreciating the experience in a healthy way, I think is key, and I think a great discussion overall that we can all learn from. So I really look forward to hearing your shared experiences on that and how you feel whenever you have to take time off. Does it kill you to take time off from the gym because you have this addiction towards it? And do you consider that healthy or unhealthy? Love to hear your thoughts on that. Those are my thoughts on weight training. I personally don't think that we should stress over muscle loss from taking any time off the gym, whether it's to allow an injury to heal and recover, to dedicate a little bit more time to a project, to work, to family, or to go on vacation. Like, none of these things should have that much of an impact on us overall. Just focus on soaking up those moments, knowing that weight training is likely always going to be here for us to fall back on, and anything that we may lose during that time we'll be able to regain quickly.